We have a distinguished group of speakers. I'd like to introduce our first speaker, who is one of the best sustainable leaders in the Colorado Springs area, and she was instrumental in getting this entire community solar program started with some of the other council folks and the utility. But please welcome Councilwoman Brandi Williams from Colorado Springs.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for that introduction. For those of you who don't know, I am Brandi Williams. I sit on the Colorado Springs City Council. And as Jim said, this is a vision become reality. I was elected in April 2011, and shortly after that, Councilwoman Jan Martin and I sat down with Jerry Forte of Colorado Springs Utilities and said, we have an idea, and we would love your help. And in 4 short months, which I still think is a land speed record, which still beats Memorial, we had a project that was underway. In September 27th, 2011, we passed the tariff, and that was for a pilot program for 2 megawatts of community solar. And the reason that Councilwoman Martin and myself wanted community solar was because it really is about the community. It's very easy for Jerry Forte and Colorado Springs Utilities to build a solar array, but the point was to get the message out into the community, to get the participation into the community, to really expand the people in the community that can actually be achieving green energy with solar power. So it's very exciting to stand here today. This is our 3rd completed solar garden. We have one at Venatucci and one at a church in Security, and this is our 3rd. And we're looking forward to Jim completing the other half, the other 500 megawatts. And again, this site is all about the visibility. It's about the fact that there's people coming into our community, and we're making a statement that we are doing what we can to be more sustainable in Colorado Springs. And this is setting the tone nationwide, because as far as I've been told, without a whole lot of extensive research, we are one of the first municipalities in the country to institute a program like this right here and give the opportunity for local businesses to thrive in Colorado Springs. And we're really excited about that. Not to let the cat out of the bag too soon, but we're actually working on expanding this program. So we're currently meeting with solar community leaders and how to expand the program, what the best way to do it is, what's the safest way to do it as far as the utility is concerned, and one that'll really lead to longevity of solar. So I thank you all for being here. We greatly appreciate your support and your help, and thank you, Jim, for coming to Colorado Springs and being willing to be partners in this project. Thank you.
I'm going to introduce Jerry Forte next. He's the Director, Chief Executive Officer of Colorado Springs Utilities.
I think it's pretty amazing that on December 18th, we're here basically without winter coats on, enjoying the sun, and actually also leveraging the sun for the good of our community. And this is something that is amazing, but I really want to acknowledge Brandi and Jan especially, and the entire Board of Directors of Colorado Springs Utilities, which is also your City Council, because they were the ones that had the guts to bring this forward and suggest that we do some things differently. And I also want to really thank Jim and all the solar providers, because it's been an amazing partnership. And we've been working hard, and it wasn't maybe a year and a half ago as productive and friendly a conversation as we're having now every time we meet. We're talking about real issues and how to get things done. This particular solar farm behind us is going to result in less carbon emissions over the next 20 years. It's going to result in less other emissions. And one of the neat things about solar from my perspective is that it also tends to run coincident with our peak power demands. So when we have a peak during the day and the afternoon and the sun is shining, it helps offset that just a little bit. So it actually provides some additional benefits. One of the things I love about solar gardens is how somebody whose home or apartment may not necessarily be located in a place where you could even put a solar panel on. This enables people to still be able to benefit. And again, they don't have to necessarily spend $20,000 to have a whole house array. They can buy in just a panel or buy in just a small amount so that they can, based on their budget, be able to participate and then get those benefits back over the next 20 years in their utility bill. I would be very remiss if I didn't thank John Romero and his entire team, because he's somewhat been at the point of the spear as we're trying to figure out, how do you balance all these things? How do we make this available? How do we create the partnerships that we need to do that? How do we make sure we balance that with the rest of our ratepayers and do it in a way that advances this amazing technology we have right behind us here? So I'm just incredibly excited today. I'm incredibly grateful, thankful for all of you that came out for this important time as we dedicate this facility that's going to serve the community for at least 20 years. We hope even longer, but at least the next 20 years. And so with that, I want to turn it back over to Jim. Thanks.
So our next speaker is from the Colorado Energy Office, Tom Hunt. He's a policy guy, and in talking to him a little bit beforehand, he loves the team aspect of all these partnerships. So please welcome Tom Hunt from Colorado Energy Office.
Thanks, Jim, and that really is, I think, what we're most excited about, what I'm most excited about to be here for. I was at an event before this where Mike Nelson, the meteorologist from Channel 7 up in Denver, was guaranteeing a sunny day today and snow tomorrow. So obviously it's very nice to have the sunny day today for this. And I think that's something we can take pride in Colorado. We are one of the top 5 states in the nation in terms of solar resources, but just in terms of sun shining. But really, I think more than that, what we take pride in is the fact that we have pursued that we don't just sit there and say, okay, we have sunny days, that we make something happen with that. And we do that with diligence and with innovation, but most importantly with collaboration. And it kind of comes in all sectors. We have NREL, we have our universities that do a ton of world-leading research on solar and other energy forms. We have policy efforts. We have the legislature and others have really pursued that with permitting and lease models for homes, with renewable energy standard for kind of bigger developments, and then with the solar gardens, the community solar idea for people that don't necessarily want or can't put panels on top of their roofs. And that, I think, is what I get the most excited about, that we can take that, and then you can have people like the utility, like the city, like citizens and consumers who are speaking with their voices and with their money, their buying power, to say, we want this energy. We're willing to work together. We're willing to put our efforts behind it and make it happen. And so from the Energy Office, thank you, congratulations. We're very excited about this, and really we look forward to working with you guys in the future to make even more happen. It's exciting to hear that announcement, and we're happy to collaborate with you going forward on that. So thank you.
Our next speaker is local. We have Carol Acarias, I hope I'm saying that name correctly, from the Upper South Platte, the Coalition for the Upper South Platte. She's the Executive Director. Thank you very much, Carol.
Thanks, Jim. And you might all say, well, why is a person here from the Upper South Platte? Good question. We are getting out of people purchasing from the solar garden here. Community Energy Collective is going to start making donations to us for helping with the Waldo fire recovery. I want to give another plug for the utility, though. Really, as a municipal provider, Springs Utilities is ahead on a number of different areas. They're being very progressive on new green energy and great approaches like that. So a cheer for you guys for being forward thinking. Thank you very much.
And our last speaker for today is Clean Energy Collective CEO Paul Spencer, and he'll tell you a little bit more about the whole team as well as what we do and the success of this array.
Thank you. First, I would like to just say, it's amazing how many people are involved with making something like this a reality. It's pretty staggering. I'll actually go through an exhaustive list, so we'll burn up at least the next 20 minutes or so, but maybe not quite. But I will actually mention some of them. So the first thing I'd like to mention is we're extremely grateful for having the opportunity and proud to have an array here in Colorado Springs. As many of you may know or may not know, we're actually a Colorado-based company over in Carbondale, Colorado. We now recently have an office in Boulder, Colorado as well. And we started doing community-owned solar about 3 years ago, or 3.5 years ago, when we came up with this idea. And we thought it would be relatively simple, but lo and behold, it wasn't simple at all. Thus why no one had done it at that point. At this point, kind of fast forwarding from the progression of what we're trying to do, in addition to this array, which is 2,210 panels, we actually have 15 other facilities throughout Colorado, Taos, New Mexico, as well as one going up in Minnesota of all places. And those facilities now stretch in excess of 27,000 solar panels. So it's really been gratifying for us to see that you can get that kind of traction and that kind of immense amounts of solar put in the ground. But I need to mention that doesn't happen just on our will. It really happens because of the customers. And I know that we have many of the customers in this particular array here today, and you're to be thanked that these arrays won't continue to flourish without your particular involvement, your ability to spread that word to others and influence them to be part of the solution as well. So on the thanks side, certainly starting, and I won't try to repeat everybody, but the City Council has been very progressive in coming up with this program, and of course working hand in hand with the utility, and the utility being able to engage that process, and also being willing and desirable for them to come up with a solution as well. I certainly be congratulated for being so progressive and coming up with something so quickly, and I have to say 4 months is definitely very, very quickly. So from the City Council, certainly Councilwoman Jan Martin, as well as Speaker Brandi Williams, also Ingrid Richter, who really helped us solidify this site and getting this so close to both the highway from a visual perspective as well as to the local substation from an electrical perspective. So we're certainly thankful. From the Colorado Springs Utilities, obviously John Forte, who you heard from, who leads that organization, John Romero, Mark Jones, Rich Swoop, as well as Deborah Mathis, who maintains their rebate policies. El Paso County was, of course, instrumental as well. We have to permit these things. That was Kerry Parsons and Bob Croft. There's actually hundreds of workers that work on constructing this array. And that includes Marta Solar, who is the overall installer. They're out of Denver, Colorado. E-Light, who worked with them, is also out of Denver and Colorado Springs, as well as Veritas and some other local companies. And on the supply side, you'd be amazed on how many people get put to work on these types of projects. This particular one, the racking is built by S-Flex, which is out of Denver, Colorado. The inverters, which we'll give you a tour here in a minute, are actually from Advanced Energy out of Fort Collins, Colorado. And you'll actually find that these are mainstay companies throughout the United States that are based here in Colorado, which is a real testament to what the state of Colorado has been able to do on the solar front. Then AGI Fencing, which is out of Denver, who provided all the fencing. Pioneer Landscaping from here in Colorado Springs, who prepared the site. Mobile Mini from here in Colorado Springs as well. And then finally Classic Consulting, who did all of the land use planning here from Colorado Springs as well. And I'd be remiss to not mention as well, one of the great partners that we had on this particular facility, and now all of our facilities in the state of Colorado, is Super Credit Union. Super's Credit Union, both Dan Kester as well as Daryl Mann, who are both here, they've been the first bank that I know of in the United States who specifically has drawn up community solar lending programs specifically for community solar. So that again is a progressive and innovative move, especially on the banking side, to step out of the norm of mortgages and car loans and things we've all become accustomed to actually have community solar loans, and then not only have them but do them at rates that are astounding. When we saw the first rates, and of course there was some back and forth on this, but when we saw the first rates at 2.25% on several year lending, we felt we had found a really strong partner, because that's something we would feel good about doing ourselves at those types of rates. So I appreciate you coming today. We will be giving a tour afterwards if you're interested, so we'll take everybody in and show you around. Again, this doesn't happen without all of you, and we're certainly grateful for all of your support. Thank you.